Yeah. How you, Vincent Ondineco here. And how many of you all grew up watching musicals? How many of you? You six? Yeah. Yeah. I grew up watching all sorts of musicals. I even auditioned for some. I once auditioned for the Cascade Theater for the musical Hair, the American Tribal Love rock musical. And one of the first things I asked was, is there going to be nudity? Because at the end of the first act of the show, sometimes the whole cast goes nude. The show, nudity can be shown in a non-sexual way. Yeah.
But not tonight.
Yeah, I know. but they said no. They didn't even get the chance to perform Hair. Couldn't find enough people anyway. But maybe someday I'll get on stage. And someday I'll wow them all. Yeah. But anyway, I mentioned I grew up watching musicals. There are 5 musicals I can't stand. Can you guess which ones they are?
Cats.
Nope.
Grease?
Nope.
Singing in the rain.
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
We give up.
Well, one of them is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, Roald Dahl, the author of the book, didn't like the musical. The one with Gene Wilder. Yeah.
Huh.
Besides, he never wanted Gene Wilder to play Willy Wonka. He wanted Spike Milligan or Peter Sellers. Who knows what they could have done with the role. Yeah, but and that the reason why Roald Dahl also hated it because he messed up with his story. Like it's not golden geese that lay golden chocolate eggs. It's squirrels, and they're testing nuts, like in the Tim Burton version. Yeah, they're trying to check on nuts to see if any of them are good, and the rest go down the garbage chute that are bad.
Uh-huh.
And the second musical I can't stand is Disney's Peter Pan. It's not like the book, because of this major nitpicking thing. Captain Hook's supposed to snuff it at the end. Gets eaten by the crocodile. Yeah. They also left out so many things they're not supposed to do in Neverland. Like one is, all pirates are fair game, but leave Hook to Peter Pan. He's the one to cut off his hand. He's the one to finish him off anyway. And the second one is, never say I don't believe in fairies. But somebody, the fairy falls down.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. And the third musical I can't stand is Disney's Sword in the Stone. Yeah. They messed up on King Arthur Legends. How many of you read a King Arthur book? Some of you? Yeah. They messed up on King Arthur Legends. That and because my older sibling called me Wart constantly because of that awful film. Then the film maybe not like squirrels. Some people can't stand rats or mice. I can't stand squirrels. And speaking of squirrels, some ground squirrels have become carnivorous. I read that on Facebook. Some scientists say that they've gone omnivorous. Who knows? But they're stupid squirrels. They forget where they leave their nuts.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the fourth musical I can't stand is Disney's Hercules. Don't get me wrong, the character designs were good and all, they just messed up on Greek legends. Like if you don't know, how many of you ever read a Greek legend, like Odyssey or Perseus? Yeah. So you know what happens. The gods will sometimes come down to earth and sometimes fall in love with mortal humans. And Zeus was notorious for this. But anyway, and the fifth musical I can't stand is The Wizard of Oz. It's not like the books by L. Frank Baum. How many of you read the Oz books by L. Frank Baum? How many of you? None of you?
No.
Well, let me tell you something. The real Oz isn't all peaches and cream.
No.
It's like any other fictional world, like Narnia, Hogwarts, Camelot has its dark moments. Like, for example, you know how the Tin Woodman became tin? Well, it's not a pretty sight. It used to be flesh and blood before, until he fell in love with a Munchkin woman whose mother didn't approve of their engagement. So the mother-in-law bribed the wicked witch of the East to curse his axe. Every time the axe would come down the tree, the axe would split or bounce out and cut off one of the poor guy's limbs. Instead of switching a non-axe-related occupation or getting himself a new axe, he decided to get a local tinsmith from a local tinsmith to make him prosthetic. By limb, bit by bit, he became all tin. One thing they never gave him was a heart. But in the book, he's more like a sensitive one instead of a jerk. Like he cries when an ant is trodden on. Yeah. Some of you do that. But I've always liked animals. I like watching animal videos, especially big cats and wild dogs. I especially love it when they're cubs. They're so cute and adorable. They're rambunctious cubs and pups. Yeah. That they grew up to be handsome and beautiful wild ones. And they're still funny at times. I just love watching wild animals. Yeah. How long have I gone? How long have I gone?
This is 8 minutes and 12 seconds.
Oh.
You don't have to go 15. You can go till it feels right.
Oh, that's all right.
15 is a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up watching all sorts of stuff. How many of y'all seen Titanic?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally love that movie. Yeah, I like the romance of it. Yeah. I like the romance of it. The epicness of the romance between Jack and Rose.
There was a lot of it.
Yeah. I just love it for that. And because of Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. Yeah, I like it better than James Cameron's Avatar. Yeah. But
And wrap it up.
how many of you? I also grew up reading a lot of books. Yeah. I grew up reading. How many of you read E.B. White? Yeah. You too? Yeah. How many of you read Charlotte's Web?
I got
Yeah. You read it?
my first book in English.
Ah. How many of you read The Trumpet of the Swan? None of you? Oh, you have? Yeah. Well, I've always had an affinity for swans. Yeah. Like, I grew up reading stories like The Ugly Duckling.
Yeah.
And The Trumpet of the Swan was my second book about swans. Yeah. It's about this, the Trumpet of the Swan is about this trumpeter swan who was hatched without a voice, but can play the trumpet as good as Louis Armstrong. Yeah. Mhm. And they made a movie out of it, but it wasn't a good movie. But I managed to write my own version where it's closer to the book. Yeah. But it's all told in flashbacks and flash forwards. That sort of thing. If I were to write it as a movie, I would put in flashbacks and commercial breaks. Yeah. And it would be all told on The View. Yeah. Yeah, it was an idea I had. But I also read, how many of you read Ray Bradbury? Yeah. How many of you read The Martian Chronicles? Ooh. Fahrenheit 451? Or The Illustrated Man? Yeah. Yeah. I've also read this one book by him called The Halloween Tree, which is a really good book. Yeah. I even wrote my own fanfic screenplay about it. Yeah. The book is about 8 boys who travel through time and space all over the world to save their friend from death himself. All about learning more about Halloween, where it came from, the various cultures, and our own mortality. Yeah, it makes us question things. Yeah. But how many of you have ever read Madeline L'Engle? Yeah. How many of you have heard of A Wrinkle in Time? Yeah. Yeah, that's one of her more famous books. Yeah, and and there's a theme that Madeline L'Engle was this great author. She wrote A Wrinkle in Time, A Wind in the Door, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, Many Waters, and more. And there's a theme in her books. The phenomenon we call science, magic, and religion are simply different aspects of a single, seamless reality. That's one of her themes in her books. Yeah. Wrap it up? Well, that's all I gotta say.